Welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel, everyone. This is Rich, making another video on XRP today, as usual. So wherever you are in this vast planet, I hope you're all having a nice day today. I had to start with this from smoke before we discuss XRP. Banks will soon begin to handle and record cryptocurrency holdings on their balance sheets. You can see what the banks were waiting for now that Paul Atkins has been officially sworn in as the SAC head. They believe that Atkins would also provide a lot of opportunities within the financial system. However, the banks desire this because they need to connect with a younger audience. Due to the younger generation's usage of alternatives to the conventional banking system, such as cash apps. However, if the bank began offering cryptocurrency alternatives, investors of all ages would suddenly visit the bank and purchase cryptocurrency since they would demonstrate that it genuinely had worth. The majority of us have been involved in cryptocurrency for a considerable amount of time. Therefore, cryptocurrency continues to excite us. We are aware of what cryptocurrency does. We are aware of how large it will be in the near future. However, the banks are excited when they can begin discussing cryptocurrency for the first time. Do you recall when you first discussed cryptocurrency? Because you discovered this wonderful item, it was unquestionably the most thrilling period of your life, and you wanted to tell everyone you knew about it. Due to their need to attract new clients, banks will now be acting in a similar manner. And the only way you can attract new clients is by coming up with a novel idea that differs from what banks have been providing for years. Smoke is also the source of this. Yes, both institutional and individual investors will be able to purchase Coinbase XRP derivatives contracts. Retailers can therefore benefit from XRP derivatives as well. Additionally, some investors will only use an ETF or derivative to get into the cryptocurrency market. They must have an alternative to simply purchasing cryptocurrencies outright. Before purchasing a cryptocurrency, some people need to take the time to carefully consider all of its features. Other people will buy it and then figure it out later, so they disregard caution. Although there are many different kinds of investors in this market, I believe that some groups will benefit from the derivatives as well. This is a result of the Cointelegraph leak. Coinbase has acknowledged that it is thinking of submitting an application for a US federal bank charter, which would enable it to provide conventional banking services, including loans and deposits. It seems that everyone wants to take the same course that Ripple has been doing for years. To be honest, Coinbase is not a bank I would ever trust. As a bank, I would have more faith in Ripple than in Coinbase. I ended my relationship with Coinbase on the day that they delisted XRP, I simply dislike everything about Coinbase, I even have more faith in Outpolled than in Coinbase. Eleanor Tourette is the source of this. Today marked the official beginning of Paul Atkins' term as SAC chairman, as he was sworn in. Having him at the SAC at last is a pleasure. Recall that Paul Atkins has a full agenda since taking office as SAC chair, and authorizing XRP ETFs is at the top of the list. Indeed, there is documentation for it. I believe that the price of XRP will fluctuate rapidly after he authorizes those ETFs. Examine the impact that Bitcoin ETFs has on the cryptocurrency. Since XRP is in far greater demand than Bitcoin, this will be considerably more significant for XRP. At this stage, people who are searching for a higher rate of return on their investment will abandon Bitcoin. For what purpose will you utilize it for? Perhaps, if you're lucky, 2x. People are requesting a 50x during this run. You could be able to acquire up to a 50x with XRP. And this is what Atkins said during his oath of office. He thanks everyone first, so I won't play the entire tape, but listen to what he says at the conclusion. I continue to benefit from your patriotism, skill, and sound judgment, as do many others who serve the country in generally unsung capacities. I can thus declare with confidence that a new day has begun at the SAC. The SAC needs to stop being so erratic and get back to the three main goals Congress gave it: capital formation, investor protection, and fair, orderly, and efficient market. To the benefit of Americans, I will endeavor to safeguard investors from deception, ensure that politics does not influence the application of our securities laws and regulations, and promote unambiguous guidelines that promote investment in our economy. Establishing a solid regulatory framework for digital assets in a logical, cogent, and principled manner will be a primary goal of my leadership. Our goal is to make the United States the safest and best country in the world to do business and invest. So, Mr. President, one more. I want to express my gratitude for your kindness and for welcoming my family and myself into this historic room today. I'm excited to work with you, your administration's partners, and Congress to further your goals of strengthening the economy and expanding American dominance of the world market. So, thank you very lot. Consider Atkins will perform admirably at the SAC. However, he wants to shield investors from fraud, which will be a problem for Tether in the future. Additionally, as everyone in the crypto sector has been seeking, he wants to ensure that there are unambiguous rules of the road. From the beginning, Ripple fought for that. They only desired a clear course of action and regulatory clarity. And I believe they will eventually understand it with Atkins. Hold 1,000 XRP until 2029, according to experts, if you want financial independence. To be honest, I'll tell you what I always say. When someone advises you to hold a certain number of XRP by whatever you can afford to lose, I detest it. It will undoubtedly occur far before 29, so relax, have patience, and wait for it to happen. For XRP, this upcoming surge is going to be a tremendous one. However, I want you to be able to purchase as much as you can afford to lose. This isn't how I want you to get overly invested. I want you to be able to wait patiently while XRP hits new all-time high after new all-time high without feeling the need to sell too soon, assuming this run continues upward. That's how you invest, though. You never invest too much in cryptocurrency. You have probably learned that patience is rewarded in the cryptocurrency space, especially if you are new to investing in it. Smoke is the source of this. With the integration of RLUSD with a VE, Ripple stablecoin is now exposed to 17 blockchain networks. The RLUSD is rapidly increasing in value. And since more doors will be open to that steady coin, it will continue to gather a lot of momentum. Since I believe that the RLUSD will eventually be introduced as the US digital dollar, I continue to believe that we are extremely early in the market's development. That's still on the table, in my opinion. However, the RLUSD stablecoin uses a VE to access DeFi. And that's the main focus. The future is DeFi. Hugo Philon from over at Flare has done this to make the XRP DeFi ecosystem extremely efficient. There's only one component that must be installed. That coin is stable, widely used, and extremely liquid. Must have easy access to ramps for getting to and from Flare. Is he referring to LUSD now? Maybe. However, I don't believe that RLUSD has yet to garner significant traction. To put it another way, it's not yet widespread. It's spreading like wildfire for sure, definitely. And I believe that might be what Hugo is trying to teach us, that you simply need to have a little more patience. They're going to offer up a lot of DeFi possibilities on Flare for XRP as well. So as RLUSD acquires that global, how can I describe it, renown, that global extension all around the world. Additionally, by July of this year, Congress is anticipated to enact stablecoin legislation in the US. We anticipate the quick launch and backing of stablecoins by a number of major banks, fintechs, payment platforms, and financial institutions. This summer we'll see stablecoin prices. Indeed, there's documentation for it,